Welcome to the LEGO podcast, hosted by myself, Scott's Plastic, and Daily Bricks. We're going to talk about all things LEGO related on this new LEGO podcast. And Daily, I believe you've got a topic prepared for us. LEGO leaks.
We got some LEGO leaks, Scott. All right, so we figured a recurring segment we could do on this podcast is talking about all the LEGO leaks that have recently revealed. There's a lot of stupid stuff out there too, so I don't...
Be expected. To be expected, standard.
I don't know if we need to go over every single thing, but I picked out some of the more
let's do everything.
Dude,
let's do everything.
There's literal baby toddler sets. I think it'd be a little strange if we did that. I don't know.
Yo, is that the next video on Daily Bricks?
Yeah, the Daily Toddler.
Subscribe for Daily. Oh, I can see the thumbnail already. Oh no.
It'd be like a baby in a blue background, and then I don't know, like a crib. Oh yeah, no, there's always an explosion. Yeah.
And a big arrow as well, just to make sure everyone's seen it.
Well, Scott, how are they supposed to know where to look at?
Exactly, you've got a spoon
at the thumbnail. Yeah, that's important. Dude, I swear, I have this one explosion, green screen effect I use in nearly every single one of my videos now. It's like...
Yeah,
it's
the same red arrow as well.
Yeah. It's the same two assets I use, and I am scamming whoever made them because I will never pay for them.
It is for free. Red arrow. The red arrow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you Google red arrow, does it come up?
Oh, it will come up. But we're not here to look at red arrows, Daily.
Right,
we're here to look at not live leaks. What even is live leaks? Lego leaks. So share your screen.
All right, I'm sharing my screen with you. I will share it with the gamers out here too. So
Batman.
No, it is not working. There we go.
Is that what we're working with? No. I can see it. It's a nice little Batman set. Although
okay. So
Is it photoshopped or is that real? Because why is it not aligned properly?
No, this is real. This is just Lego being bad at box design. It is crooked, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But it just looks out of place. It just straight up looks out of place. Oh my god, you got a lot of tabs lined up.
I'm loaded, dude. I'm ready. So all right. So let me give you a little tour. So this is r/Lego Leak. It's a really solid place to go, and they always have detailed information, and they take down anything that's fake, and only certain people can post and stuff like that. So it's fairly reliable, and most of the stuff that they do post ends up coming true. So we've got ourselves
April 1st, Daily. This was posted on April 1st. Did you just double check and you saw that? Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to click on this. This is just the main page. Your little gremlin eyes went straight to it. So I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Right, carry on.
All right. So I have my different tabs here. All right, so yeah, isn't this kind of fire? This is sick.
Yeah, no, that is. I love a droidica.
Yeah.
I don't know what the post-it note is about.
Shout out to Golf Patrol, whoever found this. I guess wanted some clout off of it.
Oh, did he? And he thought that I know how to do this. Post-it note.
Yeah.
Good effort.
And the date too. So there you go.
Yeah, nice.
So it's gonna be 583 pieces, and dude, this thing is sick. This is very. When we were growing up, I feel like this would have been released. Yeah. This is a throwback.
Oh yeah.
It's like a Technic
that
droidica.
Is a throwback.
Yeah. And it
comes
with
Menace, that's old school, bro.
Yeah, and this kind of set, I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but they used to do the super battle droids, to scale kind of a thing like this. And I think they did a droidica. So I don't know, this feels very retro to me. But then it also comes with a little placard, and since the 25 years of Lego Star Wars or whatever, you get a little exclusive button thing.
Oh, cheeky.
Yeah, it's cute.
Nice.
And then
very cheeky.
Yeah, a little baby droidica. You see that?
Very cute.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
So then there's also the pod racing diorama. Yeah.
Oh no, that's nice. I love a diorama when they've got also Golf Patrol's back on it again. when they've got the black border around it, it just looks so clean. It's just neatly defined.
Yeah. No, this is actually sick. I don't know if I would buy this though, to be honest. I don't know.
I would.
You would? Okay.
I would.
Should we rate each one?
Yeah, but then there's not many Lego. Yes, good idea. Right. Droidica. Out of 10, is it?
Is it out of 10, or are we doing a tier list kind of thing? Let's do tiers.
Okay, no,
tiers is fun, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd give this A tier.
Well, it's difficult. Yeah, but it's difficult because we've not seen anything else yet. But I'm gonna go with you, and I'm gonna give it A tier as well because I like a droidica and it's well done.
Yeah.
So let's go with
Dude, it even balls up. I mean, you gotta give it. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right. The Lego diorama set. It's kind of cool. Like you can see that's like supposed to be Sebulba, the little stud right there, and then I guess that's Anakin.
Right.
It's cool, but I mean, I don't know. No minifigs is always boring to me.
That's very true.
I'm a little minifig. I don't know if we should. Are we swearing on our podcast?
Daily, you're a minifig whore.
I was going slut, but yeah.
Right, either or. Yeah, no, I say B tier. I'm putting it in a B tier because it has no minifigures.
I'd be cool with
B
B tier.
for no minifigures.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, nice, though. But it's just not got any minifigures.
I think they put the prices at the bottom or something. Yeah, they do. So $65 for the droidica. I guess that's not too bad.
59 quid, yeah.
$80 for this, though.
Yeah, the problem with those diorama sets is they've just not really got enough, like, they've not got enough, like, utility. It's not, you can't use it in any other build, and it's, like, also, those miniature builds are really nice little, like, things to have, but then, like, once you've built it, you can't then use it in any other builds. It's not like you've got a vehicle which you can repurpose. It's just there.
It's
once you've done it.
purely display.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll keep it a B tier, but I'm just the diorama sets I'm just not as excited about in general. I would say
the cost is bringing me closer to B minus. Like that $80 for that is kind of crazy, but that's just me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of little parts, but yeah. Next up,
right.
let's bring up the next leak.
This was just another.
Great job.
Yeah,
love that.
dude, I'm
love
really
that.
good at this whole thing.
S-tier.
This is my favorite.
S tier.
S tier.
What is this? What is this?
It's the minions. They built a banana car. They built a banana car.
What is this? I don't care. It's trash, bro. What is this? C tier.
But hot take, minions are so funny. They're so funny.
No!
Minions are hilarious.
No, they're funny when you're 10.
Bob
they're funny when you're 10 years old.
No, they're funny for life, dog.
No,
it's gonna be $25 for a little banana car.
They're just SpongeBob. $25 for banana car. Daily, listen, it's getting a C tier. I don't care. Move on to the next thing. I've spent as much time as I want looking at this. Also, I've just realized people are gonna have to watch this podcast, aren't they?
All right, well, that's why we need to describe what it is, Scott. It's a banana car and it is fire.
It is not fire. It's the most basic build ever. It is atrocious. Carry on. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Move to the next thing. It's a stupid little banana car.
All right, we don't have picks for this one, so this is perfect for audio listeners. All right. Okay. So first of all, there is going to be a Barad-dûr Lord of the Rings set. Do you know what Barad-dûr is? It's like
not by name, but I will probably buy.
It's like the Eye of Sauron. You know, like that big tower.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I know what you mean.
They're making a UCS version of that. It's going to be sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
18 plus display promo.
Yeah, so this let me explain, Scott.
Is it got blood or what?
There will be murder. There will be prostitutes and okay, maybe not, but I don't know.
I don't remember that in Lord of the Rings, bro.
Yeah.
Is that the extended version?
That's just the 18 plus version. I mean, it's fine.
That could be fire. I mean, that build specifically would lend itself so well to like a Lego, a Lego mock, like architectural style build. Like it would just like this.
Scott, you have to let me explain what it is because I don't think you understand it at all.
Well, hurry up and explain.
I'm trying. Okay, so this is the Barad-dûr UCS. This is a promo set that is coming out along with the Barad-dûr. So you buy the Barad-dûr and you buy it on June 1st. You automatically get this free 269 piece Lego set in addition to it.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, and is there any explanation to what that set is, or have we just got nothing?
We got nothing.
Right, then I can't exactly rank it. I'm moving on to the next one. I can't give it a rating if we have nothing to describe.
Here's the Barad-dûr set, Scott. Here we go. All right, so
okay.
You know, in retrospect, I probably should have reversed the order of these.
Yeah, I think that would have made a lot of sense, Daily. Can you show me some pictures of the Barad-dûr? Because at the minute I'm looking at text, and I would prefer not to be.
Okay. Well,
there we go. Thank you.
This is someone's thumbnail. I don't know.
This is huge. You 2024 leaks, bro. We're literally just recycling someone's content.
They posted this on Reddit. I don't know what they want.
Yeah, it's fair game. It's fair game, bro. It's out there. It's fair game.
All right. So basically, it's going to be. All right. Let me show you. Barad-dûr.
Bro, you spelled that so badly.
It's this. Yeah. Oh, this is
Describe
actually Lego right here.
Describe it to the people.
It's a big eye. If you know the Eye of Sauron, it's the tower that holds the Eye of Sauron on top of it,
and the fortress at the base. It kind of reminds me of like it almost looks like dark elves from like Total War Warhammer 2 or something like that. Like like a big black fortress with spiky bits on it, and then a big tower in the middle with a big old eye. How are they going to do the eye in Lego though?
I don't know. It could be sick though. These are all like Lego builds, actually, when you Google it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Lego's just stealing mock creators' work at this point.
Yeah. So, okay, basically, the reason I wanted to bring this one up is it comes with 10 minifigures. It's going to be $460. It includes Sauron, the Mouth of Sauron, Nazgul, just one Nazgul. They should have included all of them. Frodo, Samwise, Gollum, 2 brown orcs, and 2 green orcs. Now, I'm gonna nerd out for a second, Scott. All right.
Oh, just for a second. Just for a second. Oh,
I do not think they should have included Sauron in this set. And the reason why is because Sauron himself never appears in the books at all.
Yeah, no, he is quite literally, he is like the spirit in the center of the eye, is he not? Like, he isn't actually there,
Well, he has a physical being. However, like, Tolkien believed that you should try and keep this ultimate all-powerful character in the shadows because it makes him more scary.
Nerd.
Oh my god. Well,
listen, I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. My thought on this is I would buy that set, like just for Gollum. That's it. I'd buy the whole £460 or dollar set just
buy Gollum, Scott. Just buy him separately.
No.
All right, moving on.
I think I'll take the whole set.
All right, we've got the leak. Do you know who Saw Gerrera is from Star Wars?
Yes. Yeah. Star Wars. What's
Rogue One
called again? Rogue One.
Yeah.
That was one of the only good new Star Wars films. Might I add?
No, I agree.
And if anyone disagrees, they are wrong. Okay, good. I'm glad that you agree.
No, that movie was sick, and they're releasing a Lego version of him for May 4th. He looks sick. I mean, this is one of the best Lego minifigures I've seen in a minute. Even comes with like a cool cape.
Yeah.
There's like a big...
And his hair's good too.
Yeah, he's got like weird like macaroni hair.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, he's got good armor. He's got a proper like armor chest plate shoulder pad type thing for people who are listening. It's just a really well done minifigure. There's a pretty good level of detail on it. The only criticism I'd have on that is there's no printed detailing on the arms. And that's one thing that I think that Lego quite often just misses out on, because that really can just bring it to the next level. Just that final bit of resolution and detail on a minifigure can make or break it. If you've just got blank arms, it's just like...
And on top of that, the other problem is that a lot of the times Lego doesn't include any cloth with their Star Wars minifigures anymore. So it's actually kind of nice that he's having his own custom cloth here. That just looks really solid.
But some of them are bad though. Some of them are just bad. That's the thing, is like a lot of them are just really quite bad. And like they also, that's the thing with the cloth as well, is that they don't age well. Unless you have literally not touched or used your cloth in any way, shape, or form, that thing will get absolutely mangled, destroyed, and abused in no time whatsoever. Or maybe that's just me.
I think that's a universal experience when you were like a kid. Like having this like disgusting snot rag of like a piece of cloth.
Yeah, I painted all my Lego Star Wars minifigures. Like you would, and also my little brother, we had an OG Boba Fett. And my little brother, like this is like 10, 11 years ago, not knowing the value of it. In fact, it probably wasn't even worth much then. Sold it for like 15 quid or something like that.
Was it like the Cloud City one?
I don't know which one it was.
Okay.
I just know we had one. I know we had one.
Yeah.
I don't think it was actually. I guess not, because I think we had Slave 1. And so
that was the
presumably,
I think that's like
no. We had two Bobas though, because we got one. I've got Jabba's sail barge as well, and I think we've got so neither of those are Cloud City, to be clear.
Yeah.
But still,
those ones are worth I think like $50 or $60, which is pretty good.
Right.
The Cloud City one is worth like $2 grand.
Right, next up. Let's not spend the entire thing on...
What? Yeah. All right.
They haven't seen your webcam yet. They probably haven't seen your webcam.
All right, so this is Jabba's sail barge. It's the next UCS set that was announced.
Nice.
It's going to be $500 for 4,000 pieces. It's going to include Jabba, R2-D2, C-3PO, Max Rebo, which people are very excited about because he's just kind of a meme now. Klaatu, Bib Fortuna, Gamorrean Guard, Hutt Slayer, Leia. So it's not going to include Slave Leia, probably. It's probably...
that's a shame. I've got Slave Leia.
It's more than likely gonna be the one with her like in that mask thing from the beginning of the movie, because I think Lego doesn't want to include bikini-clad Leia anymore, basically.
Boo! And then Lego's boring. We'll get onto this later. Lego is ruining things.
Yeah,
this is one of them.
Dude, I have no idea what the hell a Silicious Crumb is. Crumb.
Oh, Silicious Crumb is, you know that stupid little, like, rodent thing that goes like...
Oh, that's Silicious Crumb?
Yeah, that's
so
Silicious Crumb.
Stupid.
Yes, sir.
All right, moving on.
Did I just out-nerd Daily? Yeah,
I think you did.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Minifigures.
This is pretty fire. So this is what the Saw Gerrera is going to come in, as like a bonus fig.
Why?
For no reason. Just cuz.
Bro, what?
It's really weird.
What? Why?
Like, do you know,
in
like...
a Phantom Menace set?
Yeah, and then ARC Trooper 5s, you know, the clone trooper?
Yeah.
He came, this is already out, but he came out in a Tantive 4 Darth Vader hallway scene set. Why? I don't know. They just don't want to match up the it's like a bonus fig, but it really doesn't make a lot of sense.
You know what I feel like I feel like this is probably a strategy just to try and drive sales on a product that they think might underperform.
Yeah, probably. But I don't know, this is a cool set as it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got Darth Maul. Yeah, Darth Maul wouldn't underperform. Yeah, it's not going to underperform, will it?
Yeah. And
it's going to be all right.
He's got like a little scooter bike. That's cute.
Qui-Gon Jinn's got a nice little like...
Yeah, the cape.
Have they just put the cloth on the back on the wrong side? Or is it a double-sided cloth?
No, it's like a poncho. It's a poncho.
Right, yes, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, it's a nice little poncho, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
Oh, here we go.
I'd give that a... Oh, nice. I'd give it a solid B tier.
Oh, we forgot to review
all particularly
of them.
special. Yeah, no, but the rest of them didn't really have pictures, though.
True.
It was kind of just descriptions for the most part. So I would put this in B tier. It doesn't stand out as, like, the minifigures are nice.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, like, the build itself doesn't stand out to me, particularly.
I'd give it a B tier. They've done it before. I mean, it's the minifigs I would buy this for. Not the...
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that's not, like, the racing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right, next up. What we got next?
All right. Next up, this actually is from The Mandalorian. So it's the sort of... Did you watch The Mandalorian?
Yeah, but I don't recognize that black dude.
Okay, that's Kelleran Beck, who actually, the actor who plays him, also played Jar Jar Binks.
Was he in the latest Mandalorian? Which, by the way, the last series of Mandalorian sucked. But was he in that?
So it was just like a flashback scene of Baby Yoda.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is it literally the flash? They're milking this for whatever they're making a set of a flashback scene to. Also, how many times they're literally like it's like feeding on a dead body, the carcass of Order 66. The amount of times that they just go back to that and feed on it, bro. Now they're making Lego sets of a flashback of Order 66 with a not Mace Windu, bro. It's literally like I don't understand what they're doing here.
Scott,
also,
it's got a lamp.
They're milking it for Baby Yoda. They're milking it for Baby Yoda. That's what they're doing.
Probably. But also lamp.
S tier.
Yeah.
S tier.
Dude, they literally... Okay, so first of all, this speeder bike has been in like 30 sets now. It is nothing new. The only thing new is the sidecar.
C-tier.
Like...
And the lamp.
And the lamp. The lamp is sick. And also...
No, C-tier.
Clone troopers
I'm bored of it.
that have been released like many times before now. And basically just a Mace Windu with a different face is what
Also, I hate Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda can die. D tier. Moving on.
All right, moving on. I'll give it a C tier. I'll give it a C tier. All right. This is gonna be cool. They're making a Dark Millennium Falcon.
Ooh, for what reason?
I don't know. I think they're just getting real weird with it, man. But it's gonna it's gonna include like a white version of Darth Vader, and then like a Dark Ray or something like that. It's gonna be very strange.
Literally, like, why? Why? I just don't understand. Like, okay, so the last set was from a flashback to Order 66, and now this one is like plugging on like a little like vision from the news, like
Oh, I don't even. I don't think it's from a
like
vision. I think it's purely random. Like it's not even a real thing.
Right, why not? Let's just make like a T-34 from World War II and put some Star Wars stuff in it.
That'd be sick. I'd buy that.
No, no, mate. Okay, this is why they're doing it. Because idiots like you are gobbling it up.
Dude,
you're getting spoon-fed, bro.
You know what? It's gonna cost $180. The number of people who are gonna buy this is very small.
Wait, is that even Lego? What even is that?
This is just like representation of what's gonna be included.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say.
So it's not actually what it is.
I was gonna say, that does not look like Lego. Right, okay. Yeah,
but like a white Darth Vader that is likely never to come out ever again in the history of Lego, that figure in 10 years is gonna be worth so much money.
But
Jedi Bob's coming back, Scott.
Literally, I just don't care. I want to I'm struggling to articulate this, but like, why are they going down that route? There's so many things that could be made that haven't yet been made, and yet all they do is they recycle the same builds over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And they iterate those designs multiple times to just like squeeze out that last little bit of money off of it. And then they also, like, there's loads of missing minifigures. There's just an infinite amount of things they could do that are in the existing universe that would be really interesting and would sell well. And they come up with white Darth Vader and a black Millennium Falcon. Why?
And Jedi Bob.
Just why?
Okay. I'm gonna disagree with you. I think this is sick. And
yes, because you're the target audience of like Scott, mental faculties of a 10-year-old.
God, the alternative is you get a lamppost and a speeder bike that's come out 20 times.
Point. No, that is from a flashback.
They're doing something unique. They're doing something interesting.
No, they're doing something that's just like, this isn't interesting. It's just a facade. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
Heck yeah.
It's like, okay, fine. Let's do Darth Sidious in a white cloak. Let's do a white Mace Windu. She's like, why? Like, you could do it, but what's the utility to it? There's no reason to do it.
Oh, you're like, so British. You're so British. What's the utility of it? Everything needs to be utilitarian.
Right. Listen, I'm gonna call you an idiot and agree to disagree, and we're gonna move on to the next one. I don't care. It's stupid. I want to see,
Was calling you British too far?
I've said my piece. No, because I'm practical, I'm functional, I'm pragmatic. I'm not gonna shy away from that at all. I'm gonna lean into it, if anything. I don't need this tat.
Yeah,
utter
let me gobble up my garbage. Let me slurp up my McDonald's.
The Americans, mate. Americans, they can't help themselves. Yeah. Anyway, right, I see a Jurassic Park tag. Click on that.
There's a photo.
Oh, it's great. It's text. Brilliant.
No, but
you really got me wound up for this one. This one's gonna be great.
You have to use your imagination. I'm sorry that the Brits don't have one, but it's Bumpy the buildable Ankylosaurus.
Does anyone else listening to this want to die, or is it just me?
All right.
Daily.
Well, all right.
Show me pictures.
This is the one we have an actual picture. They're making a D&D set.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I'll come back down now. I'll come right back down. That's interesting. I like that.
So it's pretty cool. I mean, like, this is, you got a huge dragon. You've got like a little skeleton wizard and another wizard at the top. It's just goofy. Yeah. It's fun. It's creative. I think it's mainly based off of the movie that just came out with like Chris Pine. But I think this is a cool, imaginative set. Like,
It is, and also I will add to that the thing that you can with builds like that and like a lot of the like Lego architecture, city builds, that kind of stuff. They have increased utility because what you can do with them is you could just take those like fantasy minifigures out of it, remove the dragon and the floating spaghetti eye thing for whatever reason, and then what you've then got is literally just a medieval looking building with a cool tower, a nice tree, and a nice walkway up to it.
Yeah,
like you could actually use that build in a medieval, you could just put some medieval minifigures in it, and there you go. I mean, listen, we both do like historical Lego stuff.
Yeah.
So that's just my mind just goes straight to that.
Oh, I don't blame you, because
nice
I've actually thought about buying this for the build. So
really?
Yeah, well, I have an idea to do like a fantasy world Lego video kind of thing, and this would just fit that, you know, just so easily. So
yeah, I'm gonna do it first.
Yeah, good luck on that. With the rate that you're uploading, I think I'm fine.
Nah. Wait, look at I got my desk behind me. Let's see. I've got a video in production here. It's a video which has got 3 Type 59 tanks, and I'm going to be doing a stop motion.
Japanese?
No, they're not Japanese. They're from another East Asian country. Type 59s. And they'll be driving down a road.
Are they Chinese?
It is possible. It's possible that the Type 59s are from that country.
It's Russian.
What? No. It's not Russian. It's Chinese. That is Chinese. What it is, Type 59 is actually an adaptation. Yeah, Type 59 is literally like a it's an adaptation of the T-54, I believe, or maybe the T-55 that's been modified to like Chinese specifications and then has been called the Type 59, presumably in 1959, I'd imagine. But that's neither here nor there. That will be an upcoming video, which will be very funny, I hope.
All right.
But listen, we've done enough live leaks. Show the people your webcam.
All right, we're back.
They haven't seen you in ages, and I'm gonna stop watching your stream as well.
All right. Oh yeah. You can
right.
stop watching
now I'm going to try and figure out how to stream to you, because I would like to discuss talking about this Type 59 thing. So I don't know if you guys know, but Lego recently purchased, I believe this is true, that Lego recently purchased Bricklink, and then has immediately ruined it. Literally, I'll share my screen with you, and I will
I think they bought it a while back. I'm not gonna lie.
Did they? And it just took them a while to ruin it then, okay? So I'm gonna just show people this, okay? So here, I used to be able to find, like, error loading models, okay, I can't even load models, apparently. I'm not sure why. They've entirely okay, no, we're good. Okay, so what they used to have in this, can you see this? You can see all this, yeah? So this used to be an incredible place to find like military kit, and they used to have on Bricklink a military section where you had a whole load of World War I, World War II, like just anything military, up to modern vehicles, all that kind of stuff. And I'd been building my Type 59s based on like some specifications that you could find in here. So you can see trains, you can see cars, you can see loads of interesting vehicles.
Yeah.
And then if you type in like World War II, they're systematically removing World War II items. They're like removing vehicles from like wartime periods because it doesn't fit their icon, like their brand's image or iconography or whatnot. It's like, but why? Like it's a massive market. Like literally, look at this. There's nothing left. There's literally what is this? What is this thing here? And they've also got got a couple of items left. There used to be tons here.
Yeah.
They ruined it. They ruined it all.
Well, okay, so there are other websites, you know. Like
yeah, okay, but my point is that so I'd been using instructions from here. So like so on like here I'd gone on and I'd like been like working through instructions. So I bought 3 Type 59s to build, which cost like hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and I was working through the instructions, and then they removed the model and the instructions from the website after I'd already bought it all.
You didn't download
it's just
them?
like, well, I didn't think I would have needed to because they were on the website.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean that really that does suck. I mean that's really bad. But did you hear the other part about Bricklink that is also kind of a disaster?
No, I didn't. What's that? Oh, because they got like there was a massive like breach and everyone lost their data.
Yeah, it was a huge hack.
Yeah.
Like really bad. And I guess that they were being held hostage for a while. And people were basically,
I got the emails.
Yeah, people were like, oh man, they need to pay like $50,000 to get the website back, which in the grand scheme of things is not that much for Lego. But obviously if you do that, it sets the precedent that like it's okay to do this, you know?
Yeah, like if for a company that kind of size and taking it over like that, like I don't know how it happened or what happened, but yeah, that is without a doubt problematic.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know, like it's such a good resource because obviously Lego don't produce anything military, and obviously, so for those of you who are new to the Lego podcast, which is all of you,
it's
because
brand new.
This is episode 1. Great.
We're new to
our commentary
it, bro.
skills still need some work. But if you watch Scott's Plastic or Daily Bricks, you'll see that there's generally speaking a theme of historical based content. It's all for the most part got some sort of historical spin, or at least like military spin in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And so it was a really good resource because you could add, because that's where you get the majority of your parts from anyway, just because Bricklink is the go-to place. Like it was a really good way to like just really easily in one place like get all the bricks you needed for your builds and for your videos. And just having that resource cut off was like such a thing that I relied on a lot for my like video making process.
Yeah.
And just having that resource just cut away like that for literally no reason. Like why can't you, like, it's not like they're selling it themselves. Like fans are submitting like military mock recreations. It's just, why get rid of it? I just don't understand like the thinking, but like it's just like they've just moved into a space and just destroyed a market on the website. I just don't understand why.
Yeah, especially when it's like
it's not even sympathize with me.
It's not even directly related to, I mean, it is Lego's website, but it's like people don't think Lego when they think of Bricklink. They think of like a place. It's a marketplace, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone would be like, "Oh, Lego's promoting war on Bricklink." You know?
Yeah.
It's just kind of stupid.
It's corporate marketing teams, mate. It's this way it is. It's just like modern day corporate marketing teams. It's like, oh no, we can't have this.
Yeah. Oh,
it's just like
my heart can't take it. War? To think there's history?
Yeah. And it's like, okay, fine. I totally understand if Lego doesn't want to sell products themselves.
Yeah.
But like taking over a company and then just destroying an entire marketplace within that market economy, it just seems like you're just going to rub people up the wrong way. And also, imagine for a second if you were somebody who had spent a significant amount of time using software to upload a build to that as a fan of Lego and as a fan of history or military stuff or just vehicles in general, and then it just gets like randomly cut and taken down for seemingly no reason.
Yeah.
And it's entirely out of your control.
It's absurd. Like, I mean, it's
yeah.
It's kind of a disservice to the people buying it, like you, and the people who created it too. I mean, there are other websites that you can link to Bricklink, so you can still buy all the pieces you need. So like the service can still exist. I've used it a couple times with JD Bricks has his own website where he uploads build schematics.
I've used that,
and that's nice.
Yeah.
And then there's also other like just full service websites where people can upload their creations and it's not owned by Lego, and then you can convert the price list over to Bricklink. So it still exists, but it is frustrating that the one-stop shop for it is now just gone. Like, it's just a shame.
Speaking of, this kind of leads me nicely onto something I wanted to like discuss briefly. Is like, you and I have had many conversations. Of course, we've both got like growing Lego channels and have like a very similar kind of like genre and like theme on each of the channels, and multiple times we've spoken about like creating our own minifigures. And speaking of like JD Bricks there and like what he does with us, his instruction manuals and that kind of stuff, like I'm sure at some point in the future we'll produce some like Lego minifigures and some build kits and instructions and stuff like that in future as well. Like that's something I really want to do. Like it quite excites me, and it seems to me. So here's what's confuses me again with Bricklink. Okay, so say for example the Daily Bricks profile picture or the Scott's Plastic profile picture. The profile picture I think that we merged in the Lego podcast profile picture itself. Those two minifigures. Let's say for a second we make those. As far as I'm aware, Lego actually allows you to do that because you're purchasing raw Lego components, so it is still ultimately driving traffic towards their business. Now, here's where I'm confused. So if they allow people to print on existing Lego products, if they allow you to print World War II minifigures with headshot wounds, like dead, like blood pouring out of them, all that kind of stuff, that's all okay. But on Bricklink, you can't have a T-34. That confuses me. But let's get away from Bricklink though, and let's get back to like producing our own minifigures and our own build kits. Do you think that's something that we could feasibly do in the future?
I think so. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it. I've done my own minifigs before, and I basically just I did limited runs, like 100 or so, and just hired someone.
How'd they go?
Print. They went well. I mean, they're all gone now. So they sold, like, and they were good products. People liked them. But I think the one thing is that it gets, without your own printer, you have to use a middleman. And that's where the costs start adding up, is that, you know, if we had our own printer, we could sell it for a really good price, but using other people then creates this extra step where things get really expensive, you know?
But the counter to that though is like, and I think I've suggested or had this conversation with you in the past, is that like the reason why I think like it's like, basically, if let's say for example your minifigure collection is like a massive hit, right? And you're selling loads and loads of products, will you then just end up spending all of your time packaging and selling minifigures, like, and shipping them, instead of actually creating the content? And so the attitude I have towards like my channels is I try to like automate as much as I possibly can to allow me as much creative time as possible, because the more creative I can be, the more I can create content, grow the channels, and be as interesting, energetic, and as engaging as possible. That grows the audience, which then grows the market for the product. But if you just spend all the time on the product and the content suffers, then the overall actual demand for it will drop as well. Like, I'm just concerned that if you were to produce your own minifigure, you just spend all the time just shipping them.
I mean, you know, I have my own Lego store, and I usually get 1 to 2 orders per day. And I say on the website, like, very small team working on this. It's going to take me 3 to 5 business days to ship this out to you. So if you're expecting next day shipping, it won't happen. And so the way I operate it is, you know, the orders come in, and I pre-make all the mystery bags and stuff like that. Like, I'll show the camera now, but I have like a billion little, right now, Clone Army Customs minifigs that are like for the rare tiers and stuff like that. And so I toss them into little red baggies as the rare bag, and then I have a bunch of this is like a naked minifigure, but like, for example, this would be like a common. It's like a, you know, a $2 or $3 minifigure, and then there's the uncommon, which is usually like some other Star Wars fig or like Marvel, DC, something a little bit more expensive. And there's like prices that I align so people get what they pay for. But I have it all pre-built. Like, I'll spend one day just building a crap ton of them, like a month's worth of them. And then the day it comes that I'm going to go ship them out, I just toss them all into boxes, along with like some accessories and stuff like that, tape it all up, ship it all out. Like, for me, it is maybe an extra 2 or 3 hours work every single week, which it's like, if I wasn't making any profit off of that, I wouldn't do it. But luckily for me, I have some people who will sell me their rare minifigs and stuff like that, basically at cost for them. Like, they produce them, they print them, and they have the helmets from Clone Army Customs and stuff like that. They'll sell it to me at like $1 markup per fig, but because I buy 300 of them, they're okay with it. So the profit is there for me, and people get something that they want. And so the work actually pays off, you know? But you're right. Like, if I was looking at like, you know, not much profit at all for this, I probably wouldn't do it. Like, I need at least minimum wage pay for this.
Yeah, it's just like for me, like, I just feel like you know, for running the main channel and the Lego channel, and now also doing this podcast channel. And for those of you watching who don't know, I'm in the process of training up to join the British Army Reserves. And so like I'm just trying to make sure that everything is automated,
Yeah.
because the more things that I bolt on to my existing schedule, just the more overwhelming it becomes. I don't know, like with your channels, like you obviously upload slightly more consistently than me. Like, do you ever feel like you're on top of your work?
Yes.
Really? What does that feel like?
I mean,
what does that feel like?
There are some weeks where I feel very on top of it, and then there are other weeks where I feel very not on top of it. So I get both feelings. Like, I mean, it's just like when I hit when nothing goes wrong, I'm able to edit everything smoothly. The timeline is perfect. There's no hiccups. That's like, okay, that was a good day. That was a good week. Whatever. This week is one of those weeks that's really bad. Like, I've still got videos to make, for the entirety of the week. I have nothing ready at this point. And I have a bunch of other like personal stuff I have to take care of, like insurance company stuff that I was telling Scott about earlier, like a bunch of stuff that I have to do. And so right now I feel very behind, but it's like, you just kind of grind through it and it'll be fine. But other weeks I'm like, oh, this is easy. Like, I'm doing great. But sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I just like I think I fall for the issue, like particularly with the Lego channel as well. Like obviously I try to. I'm you know what I'm like. Obviously we've been friends for years, and you know what I'm like. I've got like an eye for detail, and I'm quite a perfectionist, probably to my detriment. And I can just spend so much time obsessing over the detail, getting the camera angles right, getting the right cinematics, and like creating a whole script, and just probably in reality overcomplicating stuff. And so what ends up happening is, like, whenever I in theory would have free time, I just fill it. It's I can't remember, there's like there's a law for it, but it's like, and so I just never am at a point where I feel like I'm actually on top of my work, yet I am still what I would consider to be like an incredibly productive person.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Like I just I don't know. I'm just like I
mean, you seem
struggling to stay on top of it.
When I'm talking to you, you're always doing something. I think you are incredibly productive. But I get it. It's like if you have a gap in your day, you fill it with more work. Like, you don't take a break and you're like, all right, I can chill now. You're like, okay, what's the next thing, or what, can I do something more? I'll share my screen with you, because like I've been doing the same thing for a while right now when it comes to thumbnails. Like, I have been going absolutely crazy on thumbnails to my own detriment. So I tweeted this out the other day.
They're good, yeah.
And I'll make it so people can see. There we go. Like, this isn't even it. I have 15 iterations of this same thumbnail for the same video.
Yeah.
And so, like, I started with like, oh, a little minigun dude and like some nuclear bombs getting dropped from bombers. And then I was like, okay, but this looks weird, like the bombers. So I changed it.
It's not got very good depth.
Yeah, I changed it to like a nuke with some sparks in the front, and then like a gas mask guy, and then
it's too much yellow.
It's a lot of yellow. So there's also a blue version that I used for a while too. And then also I changed this guy because the guy on the left here looks more like a minifigure, versus this guy who could be like an action figure.
Yeah. So it doesn't look Lego.
Yeah, it did that. And then I was like, what if I scrap the whole side panel thing and I just like make it like a very cinematic movie poster type deal?
You see, you made one mistake with this, though. You made one mistake with this, and the mistake is the fact that you've put an outline instead of like an outer glow on the guys behind, and so you missed an opportunity to get depth in there, so basically like for example, like the harsh, this thick, dark outline on the black guy on the left and the guy with like the ghost mask on the right, behind the front minifigure. It actually pulls them to the front of the thumbnail, and so they kind of almost feel like they're like weirdly in front of like the World War I minifigure, whereas you kind of want to layer it to get that depth. I would have tried to put an outer glue on it instead and make it slightly smaller and less prominent. But still,
it's actually funny because I was talking to Republic Studs about this because we were just talking about thumbnails in general, and he was like, I hate shadows on minifigures. I think it looks bad in thumbnails. And so I was like, oh, I'll use stroke then, which is the outline. And
Right.
And that's the reason I did that. But then they all blended in too much if they all had strokes. So I made the front one shadow. So it's funny that like, I mean, you're completely right. It does add less depth to it. And it makes it a little bit more confusing for your eyes, I think. But it's funny that different creators have different ideas of what looks good, you know?
It's so here's the interesting thing. So it's an interesting balance when you're creating thumbnails between what looks good and what catches your eye.
Yeah.
And so there's always that trade-off. Like you can obsess too much about getting it to look perfect, but then it's maybe something more about what catches your eye.
Yeah.
So like for those of you who don't know, like this is why I go Terminator. So you know how I'm giving Daily criticism on like the thumbnails here. Like I often help Daily with thumbnails, and Daily helps me with titles because I am incapable at writing a title that is not just absolutely descriptive and boring and dead. So we have like a really productive relationship in that regard, trading skills and assets and that kind of stuff. But what I would say like with this one here is it's just a lot of yellow and not enough depth. So nothing really stands out for me.
Yeah, that's where the next one came in, where I was like,
better.
Yeah, better. I was like, this is disgusting. This is like too much. So then I changed it to
bad.
this.
It is bad,
which is better, but it's like, I think cinematically and eye-pleasing, this one is cool. I like this. I think it looks nice, and it's like something like I would have as like a background to something. Like, I think it looks neat and fiery, in my personal opinion. But then this is something that people will click on because it's bright, it's colorful, it's ADHD brained, like, you know? So...
I to be honest, I think the color balances are better on this as well. Just in terms of like the last one, like there's so much yellow.
Yeah.
That, like your eyes aren't really drawn to any one specific place. Whereas the next one, the contrast and the distribution of color is much clearer, which allows the individual figures to stand out a lot better.
Yeah. No, I have another one too. So this is a good segue actually, because I had another thing I wanted to talk about. So like then I made well, then there's this one where there was like a city getting bombed.
You haven't showed us it yet. I can't see it.
Oh shoot! Wait, yeah, you can't, but they can.
Technical difficulties. No, I can't see it. They can.
Yeah.
Sorry. They can.
How do I just share my the whole screen to you?
So when you click share screen, you see how it says applications or screens?
Yeah.
Click screens and select the screen itself.
This
there we
is
go.
Still showing it.
There we go.
Okay, cool. Yep. Gotcha. All right, so I made this one.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
You hear me, Scott?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
I made this one too, which is just like garbage. This was a very drafty one, not something I was actually going to use.
Yeah.
But then there's this one too, which I might test out.
That is the best one by an unbelievable margin.
Yeah, I thought this was really good.
Please use that one.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I'm... Let me show you something here. So this is interesting. This is called thumbnail tests, which is A/B testing.
Yeah.
It's coming to YouTube at some point, and it's being tested with like bigger creators. Like I know Blitz has it. Mr. Beast definitely has it. Different creators have access to this tool already. Smaller creators like us have to use janky thumbnail test things. So I
explain the tool to the people.
What?
Explain the tool to the people so they because they probably don't understand what you're talking about.
So basically, I've uploaded 3 different versions of the thumbnail to this website, and periodically throughout the day, this website is going to change not only the title but the thumbnail of the video automatically for me. And then it's going to collect things like the click-through rate, which is how often, if you see the thumbnail, you click on it, the average view duration, the views, the number of impressions that it's getting. It's going to give me all of that data over the next week of each different thumbnail. And then I get to decide which thumbnail I am going to end up actually using for the video.
Very cool. Yeah.
So, you know, in lieu of being able to actually do this on YouTube, this is something that MKM, who is another Lego YouTuber, he did like building every Lego Minecraft set ever, which is an insane video. It's like 180 sets. He put me onto this. Yeah.
Right.
So that, I mean, it's just an interesting tool that I'm very curious about seeing how it works and seeing if it actually is going to like help me with my analytics or not. I mean, of course, once YouTube,
I would imagine it would.
Yeah, like
I would imagine it would, like purely as a result of just learning what works and what doesn't, just as like an optimization thing, so you can kind of spot trends and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
this is interesting. I actually wrote my dissertation on this. So like my degree was industrial design technology, and my dissertation was on visual attention modeling software. So basically, you could upload an image, and this algorithm would try to determine how visually striking the image was, as a result of like differences in blue, yellow color, red, green, contrast, text, facial features, all these different data points to try and determine how visually striking or how likely somebody's eye is, and then it would also produce heat maps for you based on that. It was really, really, really interesting stuff. And the fact that YouTube is going down this route is interesting. However, there is a caveat. Because YouTube is going to introduce this tool, or, if they introduce this tool so you can test multiple thumbnails at one time, it's interesting, but also could just mean that now instead of having to make one thumbnail to be competitive, we now have to make 3 thumbnails for every video. See, that's the downside.
The thing is, like, for Daily Bricks, I'm fine with that because I make 4 or 5, like, as you can see, I make a billion versions anyway, because I'm like, it's not good enough. And, these videos I've spent 10 hours recording and editing anyway. I want it to do well. Like, and so for these, I'm like, that's fine. For DaleyTactics, I have no interest in making 4 or 5 thumbnails. No. I'm uploading daily. I want the first one to be good. Like, so you're right. Like, it's like, at what point is it creating too much extra work for certain channels? And if everything's so hyper optimized, there's no room for growth for smaller creators or creators who are not good at Photoshop and stuff like that,
Yeah, it kind of just makes it could potentially just make it more less creative. And for example, the risk that they run is the Mr. Beastification of YouTube, where Mr. Beast has obviously developed this incredible process. It's really, really good at catching people's attention and keep people engaged for extended periods of time. And now there's just so many channels that just do what he does now. And so then there's less creativity and identity for or individualism rather, on each individual channel, because everyone just does what he does. I think this runs a risk of doing that, where basically people find out what the most formulaic visually pleasing thumbnail is, and then just everyone does that, and then there's not really any creativity in that after that point. I'll quickly share my screen to show you my,
just for a point towards that. I think the problem is if you don't join, you die. You have to adapt.
That's it.
You have to do it, because I would be very content to go back to my older method of making thumbnails, where I'd do one thumbnail and it's what was cool to me. But problem is, if I have 10 other people all uploading on the exact same day as me, I need to stand out, and I need to do everything I can to have the colors right, to have the saturation right, to make it so people are interested in clicking. So
so I guess that kind of speaks to 2 things. That speaks to a problem with the algorithm on the whole, in that it doesn't create enough room for people to kind of break out. But 2, I think it also kind of speaks to slightly just the problem as a YouTube creator in the modern meta anyway, in the current iteration of the YouTube grind meta. Is that you basically, if you want to grow, you're essentially you can't just create the personality and the character in the video that you want to see. You kind of have to do what is going to perform well, which crushes creativity, but also it means that YouTube ends up becoming just this never-ending cycle of just micromanaging and improving 1%, which is fine, but it just means that it just becomes such a grind, man. For me in particular as well, because I'm a perfectionist, I just end up spending unbelievable amounts of time just on the smallest little bits of detail and all that kind of stuff, all just to try and make the video that bit more engaging, and it saps the fun out of it, is what I kind of find, and then that's a problem, because I don't know, it's just like this never-ending cycle of trying to refine things, and then like trying to increase the production quality. I think is the important element there. Trying to get the production quality as high as possible.
It's not only
difficult.
It's not only that. It's also, it distracts me from the ideas I actually want to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ideas I have written down that I'm like, that would be really fun to make, and it's something I would be engaged in, and I think it would make for a really good video. But I should really do this other topic that's proven to work, and people are definitely going to click on this. I'll be a little less interested in it, but people will be more interested in watching it because I know I can market it properly. Like YouTube
D-Day.
Yeah, D-Day.
D-Day.
Exactly. A millionth D-Day video always does well, will perform, versus doing like, you know, Lego vampires or something fun, something quirky that like will be neat.
Yeah. I think YouTube needs to add in some sort of like randomized element to the algorithm where instead of just like being like absolutely down the middle raw on like just like click-through rate, average watch time, some sort of random element where it will just every now and again it'll just push another video just a little bit further and see if that catches, not based on the click-through rates, but based on purely the average watch time.
Yeah.
Because obviously it uses like a combination of click-through rate and average watch time. But a lot of the time, like the video might be really engaging and interesting to the viewer, but just because they didn't click on it, they never get that chance in the first place. So if it's not getting clicks, it never gets pushed out even to start with.
Yeah.
And so having that random chance for a video to get pushed a bit further, and then if it does well in average watch time, then YouTube pushes it even further. Just that little like thing just might allow some unique creators to emerge, because I've been grinding this for coming up on 4 years now. And you know, you've been doing it even longer than that. And I guess at this point, I would say we're both relatively safe and established. But I remember, like it was yesterday, what it was like trying to get noticed.
Oh yeah.
And trying to break through the wall, the ceiling. And it was just unbelievably difficult. And I think what it does is it stifles competition and creativity on a whole, because it's so difficult to get noticed to begin with. And what I think we want to avoid getting to the point on YouTube is I think we want to avoid having like 5 channels that just like at the very, very top that nobody can get past. And that is exactly what Twitch is. And you can see how much of a problem it is on Twitch. New discovery on Twitch is an absolute barn fire. Like it's just the established Twitch streamers, and that's it. Nobody else has a chance. I think YouTube needs to be very careful to not fall for that trap.
Yeah, I mean 100%. I mean, the thing is, old YouTube used to be really easy. Like I was only involved in old YouTube for a little while with my channel Daily Gaming, but I had terrible production quality. I had really bad videos, but they would still get seen. Like old YouTube was the Wild West where almost no one had good production quality. And if you did, you were kind of a unicorn. Like that was it.
Yeah.
So the bar was so low that almost anyone could gain views, gain subs, gain whatever. The bar has been raised too high now, I think. And actually, Mr. Beast did an interesting tweet the other day where he was like, I mean, like, I think he's kind of an Elon Musk-ish character to me now a little bit. Like I think he's a cool dude, but I also think it's kind of all about image and all about like trying to be perfect in everyone's eyes and stuff like that. Like he's not my favorite creator just because I don't feel super authentic about him. So he was tweeting basically like, I found this weird thing. Like if you actually slow down the pace of your video and have a little bit longer of a video, people like that you're being yourself. And I'm like, oh my God, like you're the one who created this fake YouTube, like hype beast, not hype beast, but like just ADHD pilled. You gotta go, super quick edits, super quick everything. And now you're like, hold on a second. This is bad. This is better. We should be doing this instead. It's like, oh my goodness.
But to play devil's advocate, like, so like the one thing where I'm like catching myself in this own argument though is like, ultimately, like the best content should get the most exposure.
Yeah.
And I guess the counter argument to what we're saying here would be like if you use our channels as an example, if we're putting this much production quality and spending this much time and money on the videos, like would it then be fair for somebody who's just done like a 2-minute recording that's just slapped out to get as many views as us?
Yeah.
No. And so I guess there is a counter argument there. And ultimately, I do feel like what he's done like is just what every media establishment does. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, and I think it was probably going to happen no matter who did it, because
100%.
all he's done is like optimize like basic human attention like mechanisms. Like it's like, you know, people are interested for this long, lots of things moving on the screen. And listen, to his credit, like some of his ideas are really unique and interesting, and also he does just go bigger and bigger and bigger. And as a creator myself, like I do sometimes, if I watch one of his videos, I watch them from time to time.
Yeah.
And like I just see it, and I just like, you've got to appreciate the level of detail in his edits. If you actually stop and you think about what you're seeing on screen, you realize that like, oh, just that $sign that flashed up on screen was an After Effects animation that probably took like 10 hours just for a half-second thing that flew past the screen. So like, as a creator, I really, really appreciate it. However, like it's difficult because it is frustrating, because it has created an era of just like absolute just brain rot content on YouTube.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, all he's done is really just make the most engaging video he can. So like, I can't really criticize him for that.
It's like it's like the late stages of media. Any media is going to go through this, where the beginning is sloppy and yet really inspired, and then slowly it gets more refined but a little bit more boring. Like for me personally, and I don't think I'm his target demographic that much anymore. I think he has definitely trended a little bit more to the younger side more and more recently. Yeah. Which is fine. Like that's where the money is. And on top of that, I think it's like just family friendliness in general will gain you more views. But I have to say, like, I've found his more recent videos kind of boring. Like in the past, even up, you know, his Squid Game stuff and stuff like that, I was like, this is really engaging content. This is interesting. I want to see what happens. I want to find out more. And then with it, it was like I survived on an island for 7 days or something was the last one. I watched like half of it, and I just found myself being like, this is kind of boring.
They're quite weak, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like the thing is, like they never seem like actually challenging or dangerous, really.
And they seem bored in it themselves. Like they're just kind of millionaires going through the motions now, instead of like actually challenging themselves and doing something interesting. And I'm completely guilty of that as well. In some of my daily tactics videos, I will play the 10,000th, World War II battle, and I'm pretty good at the game now. Like, it's not a challenge. And I'm just like, this is easy, going through the motions. I am guilty of that 100%. I'm just saying, I think he has evolved to the point where it is now becoming a little bit more corporate, and especially with all of his branding and stuff. And that is automatically going to become more cookie cutter and more boring as you become more corporate and more safe. He used to make really edgy jokes. He used to do really funny things and, throw shade at people and stuff like that. That made those videos enticing, just the little things he would do within the bigger, broader thing. Now it's so cut. It's so perfected. I think it loses a little bit of that human element, and it loses a little bit of the interest.
It's interesting you say that as well, because this is something I've literally been like contemplating recently with my Lego channel editor, Carly. Like I specifically said to her, like I got to the point where I was trying to like get the production quality of my Lego videos so high that I started to like script every structure, not necessarily script, but script and structure everything down to like the seconds. And then it just lost the fun creative spark that I used to have in it, which is what makes it fun. And so literally what I do now when I'm creating scripts and also structuring a video is I quite literally say to the editor, I'm like, all right, here's roughly what I'm going to try and do. and like here's the script that I'm gonna try and stick to. However, like I might just go off pace. Like I might just like, you know, if I feel like like spontaneous, like doing this, doing that, like or something pops up into my mind that I think might be more interesting, engaging, or whatnot. Like if even though it's not like within the structure, like I'm gonna do it anyway because I think it makes it more interesting and engaging for the video. But then the flip side of that is because it's less structured and less scripted, it's then much more difficult to actually edit and also create a process for, which particularly for smaller channels is difficult. And there's so much goes on behind the scene with these Lego production videos that I think a lot of people wouldn't have a clue about. No. But just like the you know, keeping engaging. Nobody wants to see me sit there for 4 hours, like trying to figure out how to build a tank, like without any instructions. These things behind me, these massive Type 59 tanks. Nobody wants to, like, they're huge, and I haven't got instructions for them, and half the parts are missing, and I'm trying to figure out how to sort it. So I've got to figure out, how do I take this absolute mess that is like really frustrating and frankly just got me angry? How do I make this into an interesting video that somebody's going to enjoy and watch? And also, how do I try and make sure, because this is the thing, you're not just recording everything, because I can't send 100 hours of footage and like a terabyte of footage to the editor. I've got to be like picking what I send. And so like there's so much structure and scripting that goes on. And if you overly do that, if you become too corporate and commercialized, which I feel like Mr. Beast has kind of got to that point, then you lose the soul. The soul of the video is missing. The soul of the creator is not in the video. And recently with Mr. Beast, it's just been bigger. It's just like he's just gone full American. It's just bigger equals better. Now, to some extent, it is, but it shouldn't just be bigger is better. It should be bigger for like the wow factor, but with a narrative flow and story. Now, I've got to be careful here because at this point it sounds like I'm providing advice on how to be a creator to Mr. Beast, who, seeing as I've got on my channels like 250,000 subscribers between them, and he's got a lot more than that. And to be clear, Mr. Beast is 100% better than both of us at what he's doing, and he clearly knows what he's doing down to a T. But I do still think that point remains about just like losing the soul of the channel when you become too corporatized and too process driven. If everything is driven by process, there isn't enough opportunity for creativity. So it's kind of like when you create like you know, when somebody's like not very like spontaneous, but they plan times to be spontaneous. That would maybe be like my solution to that would be like script in or create a structure for random chance and kind of creativity to unfold rather than everything down to the T.
I mean, the way I do it with my own videos, and again, you're totally right. Like, I'm not pretending I am better than him in the slightest, because he has had the exact, you know, best success you can get on YouTube. Like he's done it. He is it. That's like the best you can be.
He's made it.
Like that. So, you know, for me, again, like you're right. I'm not even at 1 million subs on any channel. Like it can't be compared.
Ew, what a noob.
I know, it's cringe. It's really cringe. So, you know, I get it. I don't think that, you know, doesn't make our points invalid or anything like that. Because I think it's just true. I think honestly, for younger people, those types of videos are perfectly fine because they don't expect more from that. Whereas I think we like authenticity a bit more because we're a little bit older, and that's just what interests us a little bit more.
Hey, he's serving his audience, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that could be. What I was doing is I was just preempting the angry comments we get below.
Just I was
replying to them before they made them.
What I was gonna say is like,
bring it on.
To your point, like, the way I try and do my videos is I have certain beats I want to hit. Like, I have certain things that I need to say in the video for it to flow, for it to actually be cohesive, and for it to make sense. And so it'll be like, okay, having this plot line happen, having this tank built, then having this character show up. But then everything in between, I don't script my videos. I try and have these beats, and then everything in between is me trying to fill the gap in real time of like, oh, then this happens and this happens, and then due to this causes this. and trying to fill that creatively instead of just having
That's interesting, yeah.
be one full thing.
Yeah.
So it's like these things need to happen, but getting there is up to whatever I can think of. And sometimes it works.
You've got an efficient process. You've got a very efficient process, and like I've always thought that you have. It's not just efficient. I would say it's effective. Like in terms of quantity of content produced,
it's a lot.
To quality ratio is much higher than mine. But like even like your Lego stuff, like you produce a lot more and at decent quality. Than I do. Like I produce probably higher quality stuff.
Yours is way higher.
Way less of it.
Way higher quality.
Way less of it though. But I think yours might be the more effective strategy to some extent because my quality isn't high enough for it to be breakthrough algorithm quality. It's not there. And so it's like, it's basically like almost like wasted because there's an escape velocity, right, that you can reach when you get your average watch time to a certain point where that video will just perform well no matter who watches it. I'm not there, and so a lot of my extra effort put in actually still gets me less views than you quite often. And so you've gotten a very effective process. And actually, my little brother was watching your videos, and one thing that he's been saying to me, and he's right, is he said to me, like, he's like, Daly's really good at creating a story and something that keeps you wanting to figure out what's happening next. Whereas mine quite often, like, I'm like very brutalist and pragmatic and practical. And so mine's just like, this is happening, and then this is happening, and then this is happening, and there's not enough of like a narrative flow through it, which is what like I definitely need to learn from you a little bit, like creating a bit of a story that actually ties it all together, rather than and something with like a story with personality, rather than so a story I don't mean is I'm going to build this D-Day mock, instead of just a process of me building the mock and that's a story. What I mean is like within that, you know, is there a minifigure that's moving through the build as it's being created and you can actually track his like flow through it, so something that people can actually kind of like reflect on, what's the words, they can put themselves into that minifigure's shoes and kind of follow the story through it that way, that sort of thing. Whereas you've quite often got like a story narrative plot point that you can kind of actually track through it instead of just the build unfolding, which I think is very, very good because people can relate to that.
Yeah, I think it comes with like a pattern of familiarity. Like people like to recognize plot lines, people like to recognize references and stuff like that. And that's why like I have him here is like little Jeff character that I spam in every video where it's just like the 21 Jump Street. My name is Jeff. Like that's it's just like a meme that I really like. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it a character. And it's in almost every one of my videos. And then for the first time in like 10 videos, he wasn't in it. And people are like, where is he? What happened? And it's
that's a really good point. It's like predictability, but
I think it's more familiarity,
but unpredictable moments.
Yeah.
It's like, but what I mean by that is like when I say predictability, what I mean like is a bad example of predictability would be I'm gonna build this D-Day mock and people have seen it in the thumbnail of the video. And then so like they know what the end result is through the build, or even if they hadn't seen it in the thumbnail, you know it's gonna look like a D-Day mock. However, if you've got a minifigure and a story unfolding, that could go an infinite number of directions, and you would never know without actually watching it. So that's what I mean by predictability. Is your story, like that you create with your minifigures, is much less predictable, and therefore more relatable or interesting, inherently interesting to the audience. But I like your like you got bits that you do. That my name is Jeff type thing. That's a good little idea. Well, I'm gonna steal something like that.
Go for it, man. I mean, I think honestly, your quality content is up there. Okay, Plastic Scot versus DaleyTactics. There's an obvious difference. DaleyTactics is more of a Let's Play channel. There's very little editing involved beyond sound editing and occasional cuts and stuff like that. Plastic Scot is like a piece of art every video. It's well crafted, fun. It's fantastic, dude. Like you do great content, and I really think you continue to do that content consistently with bigger and better ideas every time. You will grow into one of those 1 million view every single video channels, like guaranteed. I think your Lego channel also, I think it's better quality than Daily Bricks, and I think you are very good at orchestrating video production. Like, if that makes sense. I think for myself,
it takes me a million years though.
Like,
carry on.
I feel like you are like this dude at the head of an orchestra, putting all the pieces together, knowing what shots you need, when to put it in, being good with the narrative and stuff like that. Whereas me, I feel like I approach a project with, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to film the whole thing, and that's what I'm doing. Whereas you have such a better, broader stroke where you're able to see the project from like a third eye, and just, this is what I get from watching your videos, and you get to explain to the viewer so much better than I do what's happening, and it feels so much more simple when I watch your video. And it's an elaborate project, but it just feels like, it's like, I get it. But with mine, I need a little bit of time to get people there, I think. And sometimes I lose people because I'm like, all right, now I'm going to do this, but then now I'm going to do this. And like, I just think your overarching videos have such a good explanation to them. They're simple yet elaborate. They're easy to understand, and yet there's depth to them. And that's something I think I've tried to do more of, especially with my intros. I'm trying to do little intros, 30 seconds of just like, this is what's happening. This is what you can look forward to. This might happen. Yeah. Check it out. I think you've nailed it.
The first 10 seconds is make or break.
Yeah.
Like you got it's like a pitch, but like so my counterpoint to that would be, and I don't want this to come across as just us scratching each other's back, but my counterpoint to that, and in reality, like, we both have our own individual strengths, and we've got a really good friendship where we which is quite rare on YouTube. I will also add, YouTube can be quite a toxic, competitive place where
Very much so.
where people want you to fail, because like if you succeed, it's like they feel like you're taking away from them.
Yeah.
We have just never had that. And we've always had like an honest critical eye with each other, which I really appreciate, which is why we can be so honest about each other's thumbnails, like for example earlier on, and it makes it more fun and enjoyable. But like, I do think there are strengths to each other's method of production, and I think we're constantly learning from each other. And to be quite frank, anyone who watches my Scott's Plastic Lego channel, and I suppose anyone who's listening to this, will have Daily Bricks to thank for that, because literally Daily started a Lego channel. I've always liked Lego, and I thought, I want to do that, and I literally messaged Daily and I said to him, by the way, I'm copying your idea and I'm making a Lego channel. And I can't remember what you made some little like joke about it, that kind of thing. And so people actually commented on my like videos like, oh, are you just copying Daily? And I was just like, yes.
To your credit, yes. I think you asked. I think you at first were like, I'm doing this, and then you were like, but for real, is it cool? And I was like, of course, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, the thing is, I think a lot of people don't realize this, and this is something I learned from Mr. Beast, of course. Is competition doesn't kill you on YouTube. It helps you. If people are doing the same idea you're doing and they like it, they are going to click on your video. I have had this experience where I've uploaded a video that no one has ever done before on YouTube, and it flops. And then 3 months later, 4 more people have done that video, and all of a sudden it picks up. Competition helps people. It does not kill it.
Yeah.
And
people have a famine mindset. Like they have this like concept that like if you do something, if you watch somebody else's video, then it means that you're never gonna get that view. And like there are certain instances where that might be relevant. Say somebody's covering a brand new game and there's a hyper competitive, like, somebody get your review of the game out first. Fine, there is going to be a certain level of competitiveness to that sort of element. But when you're just talking about like green content, like evergreen content that can just be watched, for example, let's say you do a D-Day video, and then like 4 months later, I do a D-Day video. Like, my D-Day video is not gonna like flop and die because Daily did it 4 months ago. People aren't gonna be like, I watched a D-Day Lego video 4 months ago and I'm never going to watch one again. If anything, it means that anyone who's watching Daily's Lego D-Day video then in the suggested results, or like the watch suggestions for that viewer, they're more likely then going to be suggested my video as a result of having watched something similar to that. I think people have got this like famine mindset, and you and I have encountered YouTubers personally who have had this mindset. And it's just like I won't go into too much more detail about that, but it's jarring. It's so jarring. It's just a shame as well, because it's like it forces them into this like isolated mindset where, for example, they just end up being entirely isolated and then stop creating content because they lose the fun and the joy of it. Whereas I've been trying to slowly build you into as many of my LEGO videos as possible.
Dude, I love it.
Daily just featured at the end of my videos, basically just to slander me. Just gets on there and slanders me. Dude, so I'm getting my own back here today.
I don't even care because I love it. It's really fun to like make fun of you.
Yeah,
and
I'm an easy target.
That's just the best.
Also, I don't think so. A lot of my viewers are like only LEGO channel viewers, and I don't. So obviously they won't have known that we've known each other for years, right?
Yeah.
And so I think there were genuinely like a group of people where you featured on my first LEGO video, and the first thing you did was just you came in hot and fast and just with like an absolute brutal put down and like just absolutely dunking on my work. Yeah. And I think like people probably wouldn't have understood the context there. They probably will have thought like, Daily, bro, that was wide. What are you doing? Just come in, like first time conversation. Yeah, your build is crap. It's bad.
What they don't understand is there's tens of hours of us live streaming together where you are roasting the ever living shit out of me. And so, it's just...
you deserve it.
Yeah.
For a reason.
To be fair, that's true. But it doesn't mean that it's not going to be reciprocated.
Remember?
Yeah, dude, Tab G was brutal.
It was so funny, mate. It was so funny. It's just like, it was just me screaming for revives the whole time. But you kept on team killing me, bro. You could not help yourself. Dude, you kept on grenading
that
me.
Game is ripe for team killing. It's not even like on purpose. Also, that game is so broken now. Landfall is a dumpster fire of a company.
Yeah, tabs mate as well. I don't even want to. Let's not get into that. We can get into that in the next podcast. But remember, you should be subscribing to this podcast. We've been talking about LEGO, YouTube, the channels, everything. If you are enjoying this LEGO podcast, do subscribe. Remember, it is a requirement, and deserters will be shot. So,
no step
just
back.
Want to make sure the expectations were set. Exactly. Yeah, we're setting the standard in the first episode, so that when we come back, if we notice that there's a viewer drop-off, we'll hunt down those individuals who haven't returned, and they will be dealt with.
Every episode
which I think is
grow.
A good place to leave it.
Yeah. And on that...
every episode needs to be better than the last one.
If you don't hit the like button, Scott will hunt you down.
Also, but we should say is we want you to comment. So we're going to start in the process of joining the military. We are going to be replying to your comments. If you've got any questions for myself or Daily about any of our channels, about any of our videos, you got any suggestions for us for videos, any questions about our process, or we're going to start doing like giveaways and all that kind of stuff. Get involved in the comments down below. We're going to be reading comments from this podcast in the next podcast. We're going to be doing this every single week. We're probably going to be producing clips from it and all that kind of stuff too. So please do get as involved as you can, and join both of our Discords and subscribe to both of our channels.
Pretty much every
just do all the things.
Every comment section is basically like a free ball Q&A, and we might answer your questions in the next episode if they're good and if they make for good topics. So just continue to ask stuff because you might be featured and we'll read your name and all that stuff. And on top of that, do we want to do a mock contest for episode 2, or are we going to save that? Because that was one of our ideas.
It was one of our ideas. Let's save that for the questions at the end of the next one.
Okay.
Let's first get like initial questions, and so we can go through some initial questions from this one.
Yeah.
And then we can maybe issue the challenge at the end of the next one. So yeah, if you want to take part in the mock contest, make sure you're looking at, because we'll be reviewing this live on the podcast. Together we'll be going through your mocks and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you listen to the next podcast and subscribe. And I think at that point we shall leave it there, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you for listening.